You've probably seen the terrifying headlines lately about AI just coming in and taking your job. Honestly, it's enough to make literally anyone lose sleep over their next paycheck. Well, I'm Zach, and welcome to the Zak Wealth Files Explainer. Today we're going to cut right through all the hype, right through the fear, and we're going to build a calm, highly actionable financial framework, one that actually protects your bank account completely regardless of how this whole AI transition plays out.
So, let's start with a number that's been circulating everywhere lately. According to recent projections, roughly 92 million jobs globally could be displaced by AI and automation over the next few years. 92 million. I mean, that's the kind of massive, intimidating figure that makes anyone stop in their tracks and really wonder about the security of their own career. It's a scary projection, for sure. No doubt about it.
But here's the part most people get wrong, or at least the number that almost always gets conveniently left out of those exact same doom and gloom articles: 170 million. The World Economic Forum estimates that roughly 170 million brand new jobs could be created over that exact same period. So when you actually do the math, that's a net positive of around 78 million jobs.
So what does this all mean? Is this an impending economic disaster, or is everything perfectly fine? Well, the honest answer is it's genuinely both. It's going to be a really messy transition. The most useful question for us right now isn't trying to predict exactly what happens to your specific job. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball for that. The way better question is, what practical financial preparation makes sense for you right now, regardless of how this plays out personally? The data we actually have right now is far more nuanced than either the extreme doom headlines or the overly optimistic ones would lead you to believe. On one side, you have prominent AI researchers who are practically sounding the alarm. They're suggesting that current systems are already capable of rapidly displacing a huge range of cognitive work, way faster than we initially thought. But then, on the other side, you have labor economists, and they remind us that broader economic factors drive job changes, and historically, massive technology shifts always create new job categories after a period of adjustment. So, here's the absolutely crucial point. Reasonable, highly informed experts genuinely disagree on the exact pace and severity of this transition, but the one thing they all agree on, the undeniable consensus, is that massive, turbulent disruption is already underway.
If you really want to evaluate your personal exposure to all this disruption, you have to completely change how you look at your work. You need to look at the actual tasks you perform day to day, rather than your overall job title, because jobs are likely going to shift in their composition rather than just vanish completely. Think about it like this. Highly repetitive, rules-based, predictable tasks, things like data entry, basic administrative functions, or telemarketing, those are the most exposed. On the flip side, we have complex judgment tasks. These are things requiring hands-on physical judgment, relationship building, high-stakes decision-making, or skilled healthcare. These remain highly resilient. If your day is mostly filled with those highly repetitive tasks, well, consider that a loud signal to actively steer your career toward the complex judgment side.
This right here is our Control What You Can framework. It's the practical, defensive financial preparation that makes absolute sense no matter what happens to your specific role. First up, we're revisiting traditional advice regarding your emergency fund, what we like to call your financial shock absorber. Now, standard guidance usually tells you to keep 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in cash. But in an environment where entire industries might be shifting, if you lose your job, you might not just be looking for a quick rehire at a competitor down the street. You could very well face a longer transition period that requires completely retraining for a brand new kind of work. Because of this, if you are in a heavily exposed industry, you should strongly consider pushing that emergency fund well beyond the standard 6 months.
The next critical part of this playbook is income diversification. Now, let's be super clear here. This absolutely does not require quitting your day job to go launch some massive, stressful startup. It just means creating a modest second stream of income so your financial survival isn't entirely dependent on a single employer's decisions. We're talking about freelance work using a skill you already have, maybe a small side project, some rental income, or even just slowly building up your dividend-paying investments. The goal here isn't to totally replace your salary overnight, it's simply to reduce the catastrophic impact if your primary income gets disrupted.
This is exactly how you make yourself undeniable in a shifting labor market through strategic, targeted skill building. Listen, you do not need to become a software engineer or some master programmer. Actually, scratch that, you don't need to code at all. But developing a basic working familiarity with the specific AI tools used in your field, that is no longer just a fun technical curiosity. It's a highly practical financial hedge.
Labor market analyses are consistently showing that the ability to collaborate with AI is increasingly expected in job postings across literally all non-technical industries. If you know how to use these tools to do your current job faster or better, you immediately make yourself a much more valuable, resilient employee.
This is our final defensive strategy, and it's all about your fixed obligations and how they impact your ability to pivot when things get tough. Let's define the jargon really quickly so we're all on the exact same page. Your debt-to-income ratio, or your DTI, is simply the percentage of your gross monthly income that goes directly toward paying your fixed monthly debt obligations. Think about your mortgage, your car payment, your student loans. This is the exact metric that dictates your day-to-day financial flexibility.
I really want you to think of high fixed debt like trying to hike up a mountain with a remarkably heavy backpack, right in the middle of a severe storm. If a massive labor market disruption hits and your fixed monthly obligations are already stretched to the absolute maximum of your current income, you have zero room to maneuver, none. Keeping your fixed debt conservative is what allows you to take a temporary income dip if you need to retrain. It gives you the actual breathing room to find the right next opportunity rather than being forced into the very first available job just because you have to make a massive car payment. It's basic financial resilience that just happens to be incredibly vital right now.
This is the concrete checklist you can start executing literally this week to actively AI-proof your finances. Step 1. Take a really hard, honest look at your daily tasks. Are they mostly repetitive and rules-based? Use that as your signal. Step 2. If your tasks are highly exposed, you need to start boosting your emergency fund to the higher end of the spectrum right away. Step 3, don't wait for a layoff. Start identifying one small, highly realistic step toward a second income stream today. Step 4, learn the AI tools that are relevant to your specific field. And finally, Step 5, look at your debt-to-income ratio and aggressively work to lower your fixed monthly debt so you have maximum flexibility. I promise you, these 5 steps are genuinely useful. They're going to help you build long-term wealth, whether your specific job turns out to be perfectly resilient or entirely disrupted.
Now, before we wrap up today, I do want to offer an important and honest caveat. The labor market estimates we've been discussing today, they vary widely by methodology. The numbers from our source material reflect publicly available projections as of mid-2026. So keep in mind, this explainer is strictly for general education. It's definitely not personalized career or financial advice. If you are facing serious uncertainty in your own life, please consult a licensed financial or career advisor who can sit down and look at your specific individual situation. Finally, I want to leave you with a core philosophy we live by here at the Zak Wealth Files. Clarity beats excitement, and preparation beats prediction. You can't predict the future of the global economy, but you absolutely can prepare your bank account and your skill set for whatever comes next. If this explainer helped bring some clarity to what is honestly a pretty stressful topic, make sure to hit subscribe for more grounded numbers-first breakdowns. And I'd really love to hear from you. Drop a comment down below and let me know. How exposed do you think your specific day-to-day role actually is? And are you already implementing any of these 5 defensive steps? The global economy is rewriting its rules right now, so make sure you're the one holding the pen for your own financial future. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep building that long-term wealth.